Mac Extra Dimension Eyeshadows got recently viral on TikTok. Swatching in person saves you money. And also watching my videos, right? If you appreciate my efforts, please subscribe to my channel. So I went to a Mac store and I swatched these Mac Extra Dimension eyeshadows myself because I wanted to check the colors before blindly purchasing them. This is Havana. This was a candidate to be bought online blindly, but I'm glad that I swatched it because it is more pink than I expected. Now, these hard-gelée formulas, in my opinion, have two faults for me from a perspective of a person that has a neutral cool skin. One is that they tend to be warm toned, and the other thing is that they tend to be saturated, while I prefer desaturated colors. And this is too pink. I wish it was more yellow. So yeah, it's more common than I had anticipated. This is the viral one, is the hyped one, and it's called Sweet Heat. And I can see why it went viral. In my opinion, is the best of them all. So if you have to buy one, or if I'm gonna buy one, this will be it. And it looks like plain, but I'll put swatches that I made with different lighting. Is very sparkling and is a safe color, let's say, is a rose gold. I see the rose gold there, but for me, it still has that defect of being peach. Is a average Joe, let's say. It doesn't have what I personally consider special in this type of eyeshadows. I'm very enthusiastic when I find, as I said, taupes, desaturated colors. This is a plain rose gold, and still I don't know if I will manage to dupe it exactly. This third eyeshadow is Smokey Mauve and is another gem. Unfortunately, this looks like a bruise on me. It should be the color for my season in terms of color analysis, but I prefer something that is more purple. If this is a color that you like, in terms of quality, is the same sparkling finish as this Sweet Heat. And yeah, so these are the best ones. I would pick this one just because this is not a color for me. But if it is your type of color, if you rock with these colors, it's highly recommended. The next two, I think, are the subtle version of these two. So the next one, this one is called Ready to Party and is a pearly shade. So while these two, the previous two, have more glittery content, but still the glitter is not chunky as, for example, a Wycon one. These ones instead are even finer, so they're like satin. So this is called Ready to Party and this is called Natural Flirt. And I have swatched it here as well. I like the peachy tone and I have a Tom Ford eyeshadow that reminds me of this one. I think I have something that is 100% dupe. Still, this color, this light peach, is the color that you see how smooth it is. So less sparkling compared to Sweet Heat. But still, I was saying that this I was very tempted to buy. So Natural Flirt is also a candidate to be bought. And finally, there's Lunar, and this is a blue that I have in my KIKO. Unfortunately, I can't find my KIKO single, so I will compare it to a Sisley eyeshadow. I have a project going on that I'm maintaining, is the BAKED GELÉE list that you can find if you follow the link of the QR code. It's a free list that you can check that lists all of the products in this formula, this specific formula that is Italian, that are available on the market. You can refer to this list here. So the first two remind me of a palette by Tom Ford, and I have to say that in terms of formula consistency, the Tom Ford is very close. But it's also true that these are quite expensive. These are not cheaper alternative. A quad made of these eyeshadows is much more expensive than a Tom Ford quad. If I only see the swatches, they are totally overlapping. Let's see how this brown compares. So is this one... Would you tell they are different things? I think they are exactly the same. Let me swatch this on top. This by Tom Ford is an old quad. Okay, I even prefer the Tom Ford because I see a tad more pink in this MAC one compared to the Tom Ford one. This palette is from 2019 and is the glorious Soleil d'Hiver. The finish is identical. These are made in the same place, guys. It's the exact same eyeshadow, exact same formula, but there's a slight variation in color. This is even pinkier, more, I see more pink in this compared to the Tom Ford one, and I much prefer the Tom Ford. So yeah, this was something that I had in my cart, and fortunately I decided not to proceed with my order. I'm so glad I saved this money. So instead of having the same thing, this is the exact same thing. I could have saved that money and save it for something better or even invest it. That is the beauty personal finance that I'm doing for myself, and I recommend to do if you struggle with over purchasing and swatching things in real life before purchasing is so beneficial if you have this type of mindset. Let's proceed with this one. Now, I'm curious at this point to check this color, but I don't think, oh gosh, oh gosh. Okay, this is the same thing. I wasn't expecting to match the colors so perfectly. So true to be said, this finish is differently from the case of the brown. For the case of the brown, the finish was perfectly identical. So this is smooth without glitters. In this case, there's a slight variation in that the MAC version has micro glitters, while this is more smooth metallic. But the color is perfectly matched. It's the exact same, guys. It's the exact same. So this is the finding that I would like more persons there on YouTube would tell us. Because if you fall into the hype, then you may rebuy the same thing. So these two are Tom Ford, these two are MAC. And yeah, this is already 64 euros saved. I wasn't expecting such of a match in the color. Then we consider this one. For this one, I don't think I have dupes, just because I avoid this color. So I can compare it to something that is in the same family that I prefer. This unfortunately has broken because I recorded the other footage of this video, and this, you see how smooth it is, and I dropped it, and yeah, see? I would need some non-toxic glue. I think I'm gonna purchase a natural non-toxic glue for kids, and I will need to glue this back to the mesh. But let me swatch this one at this point because I don't want to damage this eyeshadow. So I don't expect to be a match of Smokey Mauve. Yeah, you may say, what's the difference? Yes, I see the difference. This is a plain pink without that base that is more mauve. This is close, but it has a darker base that I don't like. So if I would use those type of Pat McGrath plummish eyeshadows as a base and then this on top, it would match more. But guys, we are splitting the air here. I was close anyway with this comparison, but I want to compare also this one that is Smokey Mauve by MAC with Chantecaille Pangolin. This is much more multidimensional. Yeah, so the difference is that I see some shimmers that are more bluish in this case for the Smokey Mauve and smaller, while the Chantecaille has more magenta pink glitters that are chunkier. But the base becomes closer to the MAC version. So Pangolin would be the amped up version, I would say, of the MAC Smokey Mauve. But guys, I'm very close, especially with the first two. The first two are very good findings. Then we have this one that is Ready to Party. Now, I don't have anything like this in terms of color plus formula. The thing that's coming to my mind is the Satin Color by Lisa Eldridge in the Betty palette. Or maybe I can compare that single that I have by MAC, the limited edition one from 2 holidays before. Let me pick it up. Oh gosh, I stopped the video to pick this eyeshadow and then I didn't press the recording. In the meanwhile, I swatched the rest and I matched perfectly everything. So I will explain what happened. This MAC eyeshadow that is called Zero Chill, and I swatched it next to Ready to Party, that is the Extra Dimension. And the difference here is that the Zero Chill is more sparkling. You see more glitter particles compared to this one that is more satin, Ready to Party. And the closest eyeshadow, although not in the same formula, is from Lisa Eldridge and is called Lavender Queen from the Betty palette, this eyeshadow. And this palette doesn't close very well. It doesn't close at all. Anyway, so the comparison is this one. And you can see that Lavender Queen is less pink and more blue. So more lavender compared to Ready to Party. But we are very close here. And then this one is MAC Natural Flirt, that I swatched side by side here, and you can see how well they match. With this one, the peach color still in this Tom Ford palette. This is my most used color, and that is Soleil d'Hiver. And yeah, these are identical. If we want to split the hair here, the Tom Ford is slightly pink, more pink, and this is more peach. But we are splitting the hair. And therefore, you can see how well I matched this arm with this arm. And the last one, the blue one, I don't have the KIKO, but I believe there's also a KIKO water eyeshadow in this color that I have somewhere, but I still have my KIKO eyeshadow in a box somewhere. It's time for it to be opened. But for now, I compared this one by MAC to this one that is Silky French Blue by Sisley. And yeah, they are so close. The Sisley is more pigmented. Now, let's change the perspective. Let's check these swatches on different angle. You can see now that I have on this arm, that is my left arm, and you will see in the bottom of this video, you see the dupes. And on this arm, I have the original MAC eyeshadows. You can see that I could dupe them very well in terms of colors and formula. All in all, two conclusions. One is that these are not innovative at all, but you also have to consider that these have been released in 2012, and at that time there was no alternative. This palette is from 2019, and this Pangolin is from 2018. This KIKO is from last holidays, then the Betty palette is recent, a few months ago. This Sisley one is also more recent. It should be kind of 2017 or 2018 as well. So in 2012, these were the best, and the only source was MAC. The other consideration is that swatching in person saves you money. I hope this was helpful and see you in the next video. Bye!